Welcome back to the Halftime Report. I'm Leslie Picker with your ETF Edge. One undeniably hot trend that's taken the ETF world by storm is ESG, environmental, social, and governance. And that trend continues to garner demand. Inflows into sustainable ETFs are up roughly 50% from where they were this time a year ago, as more and more companies attempt to weave ESG into the fabric of their DNA. Just last week, Charles Schwab joined forces with Ariel Investments to launch Schwab's first ever ESG ETF and first ever active fund, the Schwab Ariel ESG ETF, ticker symbol SAEF. Joining me now to discuss is David Botzett, Head of Equity Product and Strategy at Schwab Asset Management, along with Tom Lydon, CEO of ETF Trends. David, let's start with you. Clearly, there's been a lot of inflows here into these ESG offerings out there. How does this one stand out?
Leslie, first off, thanks for having me on today. I think this product really stands out in one distinct way, in that many of the ESG offers in the market today are focused on large cap companies, and many of them have a tilt towards growth-oriented companies. And what we've designed here with Ariel and the investment philosophy provides investors small and mid-cap exposure with a little bit more of a value tilt to help really put together a well-rounded ESG portfolio.
Yeah, and those are some of the more under-the-radar picks when it comes to ESG these days. Tom, do you think that the market for ESG is getting oversaturated? There's a thought out there that this is kind of one of those bull market phenomenons, and once we see a reversal, that ESG may go to the wayside. Do you agree with that?
I think we're just getting started, Leslie. We're actually behind our friends over in Europe that have been on this for a while. And the great thing is every company comes at it a different way. When you think about Ariel, they're really unique. They are the oldest African-American owned asset manager in the U.S. And since 1998 have worked directly with Schwab to do some specific survey work regarding Black investors. And this was first completed over 20 years ago. They explore the similarities between Black and white Americans when it comes to savings, investing, and other financial priorities. I think with this active management, you're going to see not only, as David said, big companies, but small and mid-sized companies that are specific to this cause. And it's quite appealing from a different standpoint as far as ESG is out there. One other fact that's really important is Schwab does not have sub-advisors that often. They pick them very, very carefully. So the fact that they've done this with Ariel, I think, is quite notable.
Interesting. And that ETF up about 0.5 percentage point today. Tom, David, thank you very much for joining us. You can catch us at 1 p.m. Eastern talking the top ETF trends in November and what's at stake for Bitcoin's ETFs with David Abner, Global Head of Business Development at Gemini.